Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. It's Carmen here, and today I'm going to talk about goals. I'm going to talk about goals because the start of the new year is the perfect time to work on any goals you may have. It's the perfect time to sit down and reflect on how you've done towards achieving the goals you set out to achieve over the past year, and a good time to take stock of where you currently are. And it's a good time to do a little bit of visioning and big picture thinking to see where you want to go in the future, what you want to achieve in the next month, next 6 months, next year, maybe even next 3 to 5 years. It's also a good time to see how you're progressing towards achieving your long-term goals. So as I was working through this, I looked up the definition for a goal, and according to Merriam-Webster, a goal is the end towards which effort is directed. The way I like to view goals is it's the big picture of what I'm trying to achieve. And sometimes those big picture goals can seem very far away when you're first starting out, whether it's getting in better shape, getting ready to purchase your first property, or maybe even going back to school. And that's the biggest thing that can hinder us from achieving our goals, is sometimes we can overthink them and let that fear of failure or overthinking keep us from even getting started. A good way around that I've found is to think about what is the worst thing that can happen. If I start working towards this goal and say I put 6 months of effort into it, at the end of it, if I don't achieve it, what's the worst that could have happened? And what I found is along the way is I continually learn and grow as I work towards these goals, and each day it makes me become a little bit better, say 1% at a time. And when you do that continually, day after day, year after year, the growth you'll see and the things you can achieve is absolutely immense. So when you're goal setting, one of the things you first want to start out with is a vision. What do you want to achieve? And each person has different ways of setting this vision and making it real for themselves. Some create a vision board where they find pictures and images of what they want to achieve and paste all these different things on a board so it's always top of mind and they see it and work towards it every day. For me personally, writing down my goals is something that works for me. So I've had this notebook here for probably 5 years now, and what I do is I set out my goals for the year and write out the different things I want to achieve, and what that does is it puts them into writing. It makes them a lot more realistic and makes them something I'm working towards, and it also makes me more accountable. It's something I can look back on and reflect on how I've done in working towards those goals and achieving those goals. Then once you have the vision set, the next part's actually doing the work. And that's where setting SMART goals is really effective. So when I talk about SMART goals, what I mean by that is they're specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they're relevant, and they're time-bound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down a couple of my goals for the year and breaking them down using the SMART goal setting system. So one of my goals for the year is to do 10 strict unbroken pull-ups. And if you watched my fitness testing video, you'll see I'm currently able to do 5 strict unbroken pull-ups. So that's the goal itself. It's very specific. I want to be able to complete 10 strict unbroken pull-ups. As for the measurable part, I'll know if I've achieved it if I'm able to do those 10 pull-ups in a row. As for attainable, I think that's something I should be able to attain. At one point in the past, I was able to do 7 strict pull-ups, so I'm pretty close. It's just putting in that consistent work and effort every day to be able to work towards achieving those goals. And I think if I do that, it's something that's definitely attainable. As for the R, which is relevant, it's relevant to me because fitness is something I enjoy. I enjoy working out. I enjoy striving towards more and setting those goals for myself. So yeah, it's relevant for my life and the different things I do. And it kind of fits in this year. In the past, I've trained for different races or different CrossFit competitions. This year, with the restrictions in place, a lot of those events and outlets aren't going to exist. So I'm just flipping what I do and changing the goal towards something I can work on at home. And then that way I'm still able to work towards achieving something, even though the outside world isn't the way it typically would be. And then the last part of it is time bound, the T. So I need to set a time I want to achieve this goal by. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find a pull-up program and I'm gonna work on it every day for the next 10 weeks. And then around mid to end of March, I'm gonna test my strict pull-ups again and see how far I've come along with trying to achieve that. The next goal I'm going to talk about is a financial goal. So I want to be able to save a little bit more and invest a little bit more. So what my goal is going to be is it's going to be to invest $100 every paycheck over the course of the year. So that's $100 over 26 paychecks. So over the year, I'll invest $2,600. So is the goal specific? Yes, it's very specific. I'm going to invest $100 every paycheck. Is it measurable? Yes, it is. I'll see that account grow over the year, and every month I should see that there's an extra couple $100 in that account. As for attainable, yes, it is. I have that much left over after I pay all my bills, and it'll keep me from spending money on those frivolous, silly things that just sometimes come up and I don't think about. Instead, I'll be thinking towards achieving a big picture goal and using the money towards that instead. As for the relevant, yeah, I'd say it's relevant as well. Investing is something I want to get better at, and saving for my future is something I want to get better at. So I think this will be an easy, manageable way to work at building that skill. And for the last one, time bound, it meets this as well. So every paycheck, I'll put $100 in an account and invest that away. So yep, it meets the SMART of the SMART. Then the last big goal I'm going to share for the year is I'm actually working towards getting my master's degree. So I was just accepted into a program that starts in May, but I was actually able to do a couple of the courses beforehand. So I'm actually already working towards it. So as for that goal, is it specific? Yes, it is. I would like to complete my master's degree. Is it measurable? Yes, it is. I have to do 12 courses as part of the degree. So once I'm done all 12, I will be there and I will have achieved the goal. As for attainable, yes, it's attainable. I've already done 3 of the courses and I've realized I'm able to do master's level university courses. It took a little bit of work because there's a lot of paper writing. So I had to get refreshed with APA writing style and what's required for references and what academic writing looks like. But once I did the research and wrote a few papers, I realized it's definitely an attainable goal. As for relevant, the master's degree I'm taking will complement my day-to-day career and will give me more skills and more knowledge to grow in that career. So it's really relevant to what I want to do, and I really enjoy my day-to-day job. So it's something that will allow me to get even better at that and bring an even better skill set to the table. And the last one is time bound. So yes, it's definitely time bound. When I enrolled in the program, there's a schedule set out, and every 9 weeks I'll be completing a course between now and the end of 2022, start of early 2023. So I'll know when I'm complete that goal when I've completed all 12 courses required to complete the degree. So those are a couple of the goals I have for the year. In the book I mentioned earlier, I actually have 25 written down, but those were the 3 I decided to share. And what I'll be doing is I'll be documenting my progression towards each of those goals on this YouTube channel over the course of the next year, and I'll share with you how I'm doing and document the goal journey. And the reason I'm doing this is I was actually having a really good conversation with a couple of people this morning about goal setting and how setting goals and a vision for yourself is such a powerful thing. Like, yeah, you can think it's this really far away thing. It can be really hard to achieve and what happens if you fail. But there's also a lot of power in setting out your intentions and documenting what you want to do. That's the first step in getting there. It's the first step along a long road or path towards achieving that goal. So by sharing this with you, it helps make me a little bit more accountable. It's a way to share what I'm working on, and the other purpose of this is maybe it'll inspire you to think about what your goals are for the year and have you start working towards setting your goals out and mapping out what progress towards achieving those looks like. And if you want to share, feel free to comment below and share what your goals are and what you're working towards and why they're important for you. So thank you once again for tuning in. If you like the videos, please click like and subscribe, and that way you'll know whenever I post something new. Thank you once again for tuning in, and I look forward to sharing my journey with you.